King Whooper. Shout out to the King as we continue on reacting to this here GP action, which is absolutely chaotic. He says, should we trade a 3rd round pick to the Browns for Diontae Johnson? I mean, that's an interesting approach. I don't hate it, especially knowing the type of player Diontae is, knowing how his temperament was while here in Pittsburgh. My only concern is this. We did decide to move on from him. So when you decide to move on black and gold wise, to me, that's them officially throwing in the towel saying, you know what, we can't fix this. So we'd rather move on from it. Now, time heals, right? Time helps heal wounds. So maybe that time that has elapsed since the trade, maybe he has a different approach to it. Maybe he has a different mindset and he could be more open to what the Steelers are doing. But I don't think he's going to be as optimistic about our quarterback room now than he was when he was here, when it was Kenny here. Because remember, that was largely why he, got up out of here, was his grievance with the quarterback situation and the quarterbacks that he was playing with. So I just don't know if he would, be super intrigued to even want to come back here. And the reason why I preface it that way is because if we already knew he was disgruntled, why he was making $18 million here, and he at least had a 1st round draft pick at quarterback. Now you're talking about bringing him back only making $1 million, and with the quarterback room even more chaotic than it was beforehand, and with him having a lot lesser of a role, whereas when he was here, he was wide receiver 1. He was going to get all the targets. Now we know DK is here. So that's my only hesitancy with DJ. It's nothing to do with him as a player production-wise. It's more so just the history of it and where he's at, like I said, from a temperament standpoint, because we saw him get moved on now from a couple of different teams in such a short span. We're talking about Baltimore. We're talking about Carolina. We're talking about the Texans as well. And this was all just last year within the span of a couple of months. In some instances, a couple of weeks. So that's like I said, my big hesitancy with, trading for DJ. I just personally don't know if that is ever going to get back to what it once was, or if it's been too much damage done while it was here that ultimately led us to move on from him. And now we've kind of seen the path that he's kind of been on, at these stops that he's been having where he's, still a productive player. Like you watch the tape, he still creates separation, but there is no consistency. There is no stick. There is no, he can fit here. And like I said, when you keep seeing that with a player of his type of talent, that's what makes me have those locker room concerns, those internal behind the scenes questions. And like I said, we've already moved on from it once. I just don't know if we want to introduce that again.